All new charges are leveled against a Missouri state trooper after one of the most shocking allegations you'll ever hear one cop make about another.
We killed, as an agency, we killed Brandon Ellingson.
Brandon Ellingson was a 20-year-old All-American college student, a champion football player, and a beloved son. His life cut tragically short while boating one spring day on Lake of the Ozarks.
Now I don't have them, and my family for the holidays don't have them. I wake up every morning and think, my God, what happened?
It's a story Crime Watch Daily first reported months ago. Brandon and 6 friends spent the afternoon at a lakeside bar and grill. When they leave on a boat, Brandon is arrested by Missouri Highway Patrol Trooper Anthony Percy on suspicion of boating while intoxicated. The arrest, seen here in a picture snapped by one of his buddies. The last photo taken of Brandon alive. Trooper Percy handcuffs Brandon and then places him in a life vest like this one. It's called a Type 3 vest. It has armholes, but it's already reportedly buckled when Trooper Percy pulls it over Brandon's head while his arms are cuffed behind him. The trooper takes Brandon away alone in his patrol boat. A short time later, his parents get the call. There has been a tragic accident.
Proceeded to tell me that the boat had capsized, Percy was the driver, Brandon was tossed out and drowned.
But we now know that's not how Brandon drowned. The patrol boat did not capsize. And it's the first of many discrepancies that will lead to accusations of an alarming conspiracy that reeks of a cover-up.
This is why it needs to be uncovered and investigated a lot further.
Shortly after Brandon's death, Percy radios in, telling another officer he was driving the patrol boat at a safe speed. The exchange is recorded.
I wouldn't go real fast because it's real choppy. Yeah, I'm guessing 15, 20, 100.
But the patrol boat's GPS records tell a very different story. It shows Percy hit speeds of 46 miles an hour while Brandon was in custody. According to Percy, his patrol boat hit another boat's wake. Brandon goes overboard. But when Percy radios in, he says Brandon may have jumped.
I can't say 100% for sure if he did it on purpose or if it was the weight.
Brandon's life vest slips off and surfaces, but his hands are still handcuffed behind his back, and he's sinking fast. Larry Moreau says he saw the whole thing.
I would say 10 seconds, maybe something like that. It's hard to comprehend how this officer could have known that this kid was handcuffed, and it took him that long to get back to him.
Percy ultimately leaps in to save Brandon, but his efforts fail. Brandon, his hands still cuffed behind him, sinks to the bottom of the lake. Our affiliate, KMIZ, uncovered this sonar photo where you can actually see his lifeless body 80 feet down. Moments after losing Brandon, you can hear Percy complain the incident has left him worn out.
Sore from treading water with I just for a spin. Damn, I thought I could ran a marathon.
At the time, his body was still at the bottom of the lake. In fact, Missouri Highway and Water Patrol decided not to even retrieve Brandon's body until the next day. Then joke about it over the radio.
His dad is 7 times as pissed off that we're not going to die tonight.
Yeah. Well,
and I wanted to tell him he's not going to be any more dead in the morning than he is right now.
Sergeant Randy Henry had heard enough. He steps forward to blow the whistle on a fellow cop. Sergeant Henry believes Percy was negligent in his duties. But according to the sergeant, when he takes his concerns to his superiors, they try to muzzle him and don't even want him to write a report.
I knew right then the fix was in. The truth hurts. And when we kill somebody in custody, the family deserves to know the full truth, not just the bits and pieces of the truth that we want to release.
Finally, a development that might bring long-awaited justice for Brandon. A special prosecutor charges Percy with involuntary manslaughter in the first degree, accusing the trooper of recklessly causing the death and taking an unjustifiable risk. The charge could mean 7 years in prison for Percy, who's pleaded not guilty.
This is totally gross negligence. Tony Percy is guilty of manslaughter, and he needs to pay the price for what he did to my son.
apologize for the loss that I've caused the Ellingson family. I know that nothing that I will say will ease the pain that they're feeling. And I will never forget that I'm the cause of that pain. I am truly sorry for that. Brandon should be here with them today. Thank you.
Anthony Piercy, it has been 3.5 years that I've waited to tell you face to face that you're the reason why my son is dead. You had no compassion for my son. You handcuffed him from behind, and then you stuffed a long life jacket, type 3, over his muscular body, and only had one strap buckled by the boys witnessing. Don't tell me you were in a hurry. You had all afternoon to know which life jacket to put on Brandon. If only you would have put the safety strap between his crotch, Brandon would be here.
Were you thankful that he will get some jail time, or what is your thought on that?
10 days is like a vacation, you know, so, I mean, no, it's a joke. I looked at him because, you know, he killed my son and he had no compassion for him at that time of the day. He could have. He wouldn't do that to his kids. You know, he put Brandon at a disadvantage. He was totally defenseless and he was going way too fast. Someday, like I read in my statement, you know, justice will prevail. You know, I am a Christian. I believe in forgiveness, but God loves justice also, and someday he'll meet his maker when he takes his last breath, and he'll have to answer for what he did. I'm going to go after his post-certification. Yeah, he doesn't need to be a cop again. He can be something else.
If Brandon were here today, what would his thoughts be about this?
You know, I think he would be disappointed in the outcome, but he knows that I fought hard for him and I did the best I could based on what we got here in this little town. It wasn't ever going to be fair. I'll never forget Brandon. That's never going to be over. So, you know, his legacy will live on. He made a huge impact in his short 20 years of life.
Cop who threw handcuffed man into lake and watched him drown, gets on 10 days in jail. A family is outraged after the cop responsible for the drowning death of their son was given a measly 10 days sentence. By Matt Agarist, September 21, 2017. Versailles, Missouri. Nearly 2 years after Trooper Anthony Piercy was charged in the death of Brandon Ellingson, who drowned in the Lake of the Ozarks with his hands cuffed behind his back, the case has been closed. Predictably, the offending officer is getting off with less than a slap on the wrist. For handcuffing a college student, negligently casting him into a lake, and watching as he drowned, Trooper Piercy avoided an involuntary manslaughter trial after pleaded guilty to a simple boating violation in June. This week, Piercy was sentenced for his role in Ellingson's death and he received just 10 days in jail. The judge referred to this insultingly low sentence of only 10 days as shock time. According to the Kansas City Star, in addition to the shock time in the Morgan County Jail, Judge Roger Prox sentenced Trooper Anthony Piercy to 2 years of supervised probation and ordered him to complete 50 hours of community service. Piercy will serve time in jail in 5 two-day increments with his first stint scheduled to begin Friday. To Ellingson family and those who've been following this case, it is a kick in the teeth. 10 days is like a vacation, Craig Ellingson said. It's a joke. He knows he's guilty and he's damn lucky to get what he got. As the Star reports, Special Prosecutor William Kamsey requested Piercy receive 30 days in jail and have his law enforcement certification revoked for life. Prox, however, said the decision on Piercy's certification was for the state, not him. Advertisement. C is a stand-up attorney, however, and vowed to follow up to make sure this cop loses his license for the death of this beloved young man. Read more, cop kicks handcuffed man in the chest while fellow cops do nothing to stop him. I wished we would have gotten what we asked for, C told the Star after the hearing. It's my hope he, Piercy, never ever serves as a law enforcement officer again. I fulfilled my obligation, but I feel like I have an obligation to the Ellingson family to see this out. However, the patrol noted that Piercy is still a cop and is merely on unpaid leave. What happens now with Piercy's employment is a personnel issue, said Lieutenant Paul Reinsch, the Star reported. During the proceedings, Craig Ellingson finally got to address the man responsible for taking the only thing in the world that mattered, his son. Almost immediately, he began to cry as he read through a 3-page statement. Anthony Piercy, it has been almost 3.5 years that I've waited to tell you face to face that you're the reason why my son Brandon is dead, Ellingson said. On May 31, 2014. Trooper Piercy arrested Ellingson under suspicion of OWI and negligently placed the wrong life jacket over the handcuffed 20-year-old's torso. Piercy then drove his patrol boat away from the scene at a high rate of speed. Ellingson was thrown from the craft when it struck a sizable wake, the life jacket came off, and he drowned with his hands still in cuffs while Piercy callously watched on. He's an evil person, Ellingson's father Craig told the Daily Beast on Wednesday. The reason we decided to go to the plea deal was it was tainted down there, in Morgan County, Missouri's court system. During the investigation, it was determined that Piercy did little to nothing as he watched Ellingson drown. Read more. Over 1,000 just gathered for the largest felony civil disobedience rally in U.S. history. As the Beast reported, Piercy did not jump in to save him. When a bachelorette party passed on a nearby boat, the passengers threw Ellingson a life ring, but they didn't know my son was handcuffed, Craig said. Piercy didn't say he was handcuffed. The women told investigators that they screamed at Piercy to extend a pole to Ellingson, which he did, but he knew he was handcuffed, Craig said. Piercy did not call a supervisor for help until an hour after Ellingson drowned. Footage from his boat shows Piercy having a chillingly casual conversation with his colleague, referring to Ellingson in profane terms. I'm banged up a little bit, but I'm all right. I don't know if I'm sore from treading water with the bastard, Piercy told a supervisor of the dead 20-year-old. As the Free Thought Project previously reported, following the familiar full court press to prevent officer accountability, the jury in a coroner's inquest ruled Ellingson's death to be accidental. It was subsequently revealed that Amanda Grellner, the prosecutor who declined to file charges against Piercy, had received a personal favor from the MHP 3 years earlier when the department declined to charge her then 18-year-old son with DUI. Last September, a circuit court judge found that the state had knowingly and purposefully covered up the crimes of Piercy, violating the state's sunshine law in the act. After seeing that they were getting zero help from the perpetrator and his subsequent conspirators, the family of Ellingson launched a campaign for justice. During this campaign, they were joined by Missouri Highway Patrol Sergeant Randy Henry. Read more. Tired of being forced to pay for a broken system? Let police compete for our tax dollars. Henry witnessed firsthand the incompetence, negligence, and cover-up and took to exposing it. We killed Brandon Ellingson, Henry bluntly told the Lake Expo newspaper, following it with the question of why are we investigating ourselves. In a conversation with Piercy the day following Ellingson's death, Henry expressed concerns about how the arresting officer had conducted himself. Piercy himself seemed remorseful, telling Henry, "I feel like I drowned that kid. I should have done more for him." In any other context, that comment would be treated as a confession to second-degree murder. Henry then filed a report on the drowning and testified about the inadequate training Piercy and other Water Patrol officers received. During an interview with patrol investigators following the drowning, Henry mentioned a state law dealing with the safety of people in custody and how the police are responsible for the lives of those they detain. An investigator interrupted Henry and insisted that the recorder be turned off, to deliberately prevent an official record of his disclosures. The stiff arm of blue justice moved in and now we are seeing the results. Instead of Piercy being held accountable for his negligence, it was Henry who was then run through the gamut of the thin blue line. He was cast out by his department, demoted to corporal, and forced to retire. Now, the man responsible for the death of a star college student is getting off with a 10-day sentence and can remain a cop.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I'd like to thank you for all your years of support through the years. As a result, this channel has grown and allowed me an equity partnership in carmarshal.com. Please take the time to check them out. They help you buy and sell your next car, even have a negotiating tool to save you from the hassle of haggling with multiple dealers. The link is in the description below. Please click and help support and give if you can too through PayPal or Patreon. Thanks again. Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal, and there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in, no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.